Arsenal player is all down. Here's a chance for Kivior to come forward. Jakob Kivior starts to left back in 6 games in all competitions in a row. Declan Rice, goal scorers at Bramall Lane. Head up, always looking for options. The goals lately. Jorginho tried to pick out Saka. It's intercepted. Saka raises a thumbs up anyway. He liked the idea of that. As Ramsdale gets a touch from the centre circle. He'll be keen to show what he can do with his feet here, and he's not found Ben White with that direct pass.
Tries to force it. Nicola takes out, folds his arms. No comment to it, but he's just tried to drill that out to the tension. I don't think he'll bother him too much. To overcomplicate, trying to do too much of that Connor, but just going back there. Nyeke, when he goes to go tight, because he work hard, he had to pull right out of the situation. That's the problem with him now. Want to set a tone as a midfield player, he wants to get tight, want to be aggressive, but can't now.
0-0. Spotlight on Aaron Ramsdale today. I remember being at West Ham recently when Calvin Phillips made his debut for David Moyes' team, and he made a howling error right at the beginning of the game. And you know, the spotlight's on you, that's not what you want, and it's only been a little error from Ramsdale, but now everyone's keen to see what happens next time he gets the ball. As down goes Keane Lewis-Potter looking for a free kick, and he gets one in the left-back position for Brentford. Free kick to the visitors.
You know, it always amazes me there, when you know somebody's going to try and buy a foul, he falls down, and the flag just like waves aggressively. Why doesn't he just wait and go, I might not have got this right? And it's amazing. Saka just goes, really? Is it a foul? Keane Lewis-Potter falls over, delays. Is it good play? Is it not? Do we want to see it? He's got himself a breather.
Keane Lewis-Potter playing on the left-hand side of the Brentford defence, and he's got to be busy keeping tabs on Bukayo Saka. That is one of the more difficult assignments for any Premier League defender. What a lovely touch that was. Nutmeg by Trossard on the far side, through the legs of Rorsland, but he wasn't able to collect it around the other side. Down goes Wissa on the edge of the area, and the referee's given a free kick for that too. Free kick to Brentford, might be within shooting distance. Wissa went down, there didn't seem to be an awful lot in it. Gabriel is complaining. Free kick to Brentford.
So he does really well, Wissa. He gets his body in, and then Gabriel's comfortable. Oh, and he issues a yellow card. That's interesting.
Gabriel. I wonder if that's for the protest afterwards as much as the challenge.
Yeah, well, when we get another look at it, the assistant referee probably just said straight away, there is a shirt pull. He pulls him into an advanced area. When you have a look at it again, no brainer. Referee gets it correct. Gabriel, what's he doing? He just gets caught out. Once you pull the shirt, you're in trouble. These are the areas now. What do you do? Corner of that 18-yard box. Do you put it in? Do you try and work it? Can you get a little bit of movement, get a shot away? It is such a wide angle. Well, goalkeeper needs testing.
Yes, there's been a real buzz of an atmosphere around the Emirates, but suddenly a hush of quiet. Arsenal fans want to survive.
You just look at the line
moment.
there, Connor. Everyone's up right on the penalty area. Ivan Toney right in front of the eye line of Ramsdale on the edge of the 6. Do they drop off? What do? You just got to leave him. Be brave.
There's all sorts of tactics with this active, inactive interpretations of offside law. And strikers know they can unsettle defence for standing in ostensibly, blatantly offside positions, but it's only if they get a touch that they become active. Ramsdale staying on his goal line, and the Arsenal players are lined up level with the edge of the penalty spot. This is out by the corner angle of the penalty area, right hand side as Brentford come forward. Keane Lewis-Potter is over there, so too Christian Norgard. And here it comes, played in by Keane Lewis-Potter, across the face of goal, and a roar of relief from Arsenal fans as it goes wide. Arsenal 0, Brentford 0.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Delivery right across the face, goes out the back, tries to probably get too much pace on it. There's a little problem with Ramsdale, not sure what he's asking for behind the goal, but he wants something sorting out. But he'll be delighted to see that one flash past Connor.
Trossard has possession left-hand side for Arsenal, 0-0 of the Emirates. Plays it towards the penalty area, looking for Kai Havertz. Cut out by Christopher Ayer. Ayer, who made his Brentford debut against Arsenal 2 seasons ago. And free kick is given to Brentford once again. And opening stages, we've only played 12 minutes, but there's been a few stop-starts which are disrupting Arsenal's flow, and I think Thomas Frank will be quite pleased about that.
100%. You know, that delay, that wait, It wasn't just a little nudge, wasn't it? The referee said straight away. Now Flecking comes forward. We're going to go direct, try and get some seconds. Ivan Toney possibly this diagonal, and can they get in behind? King Louis Potter will be looking to try and just sneak in behind it.
10 games to go in the title race after this evening. Saliba jumps and wins the header, comes back down towards him, awkward height, flicks it with his knee, and it comes for Lewis Potter on the left-hand side. Good ball in, that's a clever lead by Janelt because he knew Tony was behind him. Tony in the penalty area, Janelt crosses, Wissa was ready to finish, and Kiwior got a really important touch. Flag goes up on the far side. Wissa would have been offside, but Kiwior didn't know that, and that was very good defending. Brentford looked dangerous when they come forward.
Yeah, they did. King Louis Potter just put it into area, just ran through. There was that little sort of overs, wasn't there? Janelt just leaves it. Ivan Toney tries to get a strike, tries to look for a bit of space. Janelt backs it up, drifts it in, that cross to the back post. Flag goes up. There's that support again. The Arsenal fans just trying to give them as much help as possible, but Thomas Frank, just in that technical area, will be pleased that he's seen some progress from his team.
Half-time of the Six Nations, England 8, Ireland 12. And second half commentary of that game to come on 5 Live. We'll stick with the Premier League football here on Sports Extra. Once this finishes on Sports Extra, we'll be with Emma Radicanu, commentary live from Indian Wells. Arsenal 0, Brentford 0. Busy weekend of sports. All the details on the BBC Sport website. Arsenal the attack down the right-hand side. Already today, Manchester United beaten Everton by 2-0 at Old Trafford. 2-2 draw between Bournemouth and Sheffield United. 1-1 draw at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace conceding a late equaliser as Luton came back to get a point there. Crossed by Odegaard, hung in the air in front of Roerslev, and as he jumped, Trossard couldn't. I think he lost sight of the ball. It hits the Belgian and goes out for a goal kick to Brentford. Wolves beat Fulham by 2-1. Michael Brown.
Roerslev, back post, tries to head it away, misses it. Just creeps out. Very unfortunate on that back post. That Trossard couldn't keep it in, but good work. Odegaard finding space. A little step over, just that little delivery. It wasn't clean on that right foot as he just puts it across the 6-yard area on that left foot. You know he will cause a few issues, but the delay, Brentford just waiting. That's a good battle, isn't it? Tony and Gabriel.
We are in the 15th minute. No goals so far. Arsenal have scored more goals in the opening quarter hour of Premier League games this season than any other team. And no side has conceded more in the opening 15 minutes than Brentford. So Thomas Frank will be pleased that this is all square, and even more pleased now as his team wins a corner.
Yeah, good forward play. Ivan Toney down that right-hand side, just getting his body in, trying to wait, trying to clip it across. Now everybody just looking what type of set piece. Will the delivery come in? Will Brentford go short? Everybody a big presence all around that 6-yard area. And where are they on top of? Ramsdale.
Yes.
Everybody.
There
6 people right around. I mean, that is
6
like
opponents right around it. And he's owned there's 12 of them in the 6-yard box. Now they're all sort of choreography here as they burst out of the 6-yard box. Ball comes in. Tony's header's on target, but straight to the goalkeeper. That's Aaron Ramsdale's first save. And look at this for a throw. What a throw! Trossard is onto it for Arsenal. Roerslev trying to get back. Brilliant defending. Havertz comes to join the attack. Trossard can't keep it moving. Well, that was really exciting. The throw from Ramsdale, the sprint from Trossard, but he didn't have the pace to burn Roerslev, and the Dane was able to get back.
Interesting set piece. They were putting pressure on Ramsdale. It was a free header. There was no pace left on it. But when he takes the catch, he steps forward. Just brilliant assist, isn't it? I think he throws it further than I could kick it, Connor. Right over into the halfway line, and then the race was on. Great recovery runs from Brentford, though. They got back in, they delayed, they waited, and then they got the numbers in. That support was there. Russell very, very quick.
Well, that was almost kamikaze from Brentford, sending so many players forward to attack the corner. Ramsdale's quick thinking, and he flung it. He gave it a fantastic throw. He lost his balance as he flung it in front of Trossard. And I wonder, would Martinelli have been able to canter clear of the defender? Roerslev did really well to get back, because in the early stages, and it all happened in a blink of an eye, but the early stages of it, Trossard looked to have a yard or two advantage, but he wasn't able to hold on to that.
Yeah, he was away. As I say to you, he just couldn't push it, go across the defender. Recovery runs were excellent, but I'll give Ramsdale a bit of confidence, won't it, with an assist like that. Be desperate for it to go in the back of the net.
Yeah, big roar of encouragement for the Arsenal fans for that moment too, for their goalkeeper as well. If you're tuning a coverage late, no David Raya today because he is still on loan from Brentford. He is ineligible against his parent club. And Ivan Toney, who's been linked for so long with the move to Arsenal. Arsenal fans getting to see up close what he can do in the flesh. He's had one goal line clearance, he's had one attempt on target, Ivan Toney. 0-0 on Sports Extra from 5 Live. This is Odegaard just outside the penalty area. Clever ball into the path of Havertz, who tried to shoot first time left-footed. Too many defenders in the way. It comes back to Odegaard again, and Arsenal are able to do this. They attack in waves. Just when you think it's broken down, they come again with a surge. Rice has it on the far side. Infield, Kivior. Gabriel back out to Declan Rice. He attacks the corner edge of the area. He's got Trossard with him. Brentford can't get a touch at the moment. Arsenal holding on to it in the attacking third. Saliba's put under pressure now by Wissa, but he keeps it going. That's lovely between Jorginho and Trossard. Collins stabs out, but he can't get full control of it as Brentford just about clear away, but Arsenal come again. 0-0 the Emirates. White into Jorginho, strokes it forward into the penalty area. Lovely touchdown for Trossard. They won the penalty as Odegaard goes down, and the referee Rob Jones was close to that, and he says no, and there's no flinch from the assistant either. VAR will look in the background, but the on-field decision is no penalty.
Yeah, it was interesting clip. Jorginho into the path of Odegaard, and then there's a little flick inside. Odegaard drives into the penalty area, then he is just shoved, isn't he? And I think it was Norgard who just pushes him off it. Everybody's asking for that penalty kick.
Saka again down the right hand side for Arsenal. Still no goals in North London. White gets his foot underneath it. Great cross in and a great header from Declan Rice. Arsenal take the lead. 19 minutes on the clock. Declan Rice, who's had more Premier League goals this season than any previous campaign in his career. That is his 6th in the top flight, and didn't he take it well? 2 goals in 2 games for Declan Rice. Arsenal lead Brentford 1-0, and as things stand, Mikel Arteta's team are on their way to the top of the Premier League tonight.
Wow, what a moment. Declan Rice seems to be getting better and better. Is he going to be the one? Is he going to be the difference as he just goes into the penalty area? Great work down the right hand side. Saka and White just delivers it, and he just steps across and heads it, just leans in. And he's Rosalev, can't get any way out of the way, and he just guides it into that far corner with a glancing header, just uses the pace. He's not just a 6, he's the all-round midfielder. He just seems to be carrying Arsenal. I asked the question, didn't I, would he be able to do it today? Carry his side over the line. Well, what a start for him.
In over 200 league appearances for West Ham, Declan Rice only ever scored 10 league goals. He's now up to 6 already in his fledgling Arsenal career. And if Brentford had put up a stern resistance and even asked a few questions in those opening 18-19 minutes, well, Arsenal have come up with answers very quickly. And they've had a knack lately of once they get their noses in front, absolutely running away with games. And Thomas Frank's side face a big next 10 minutes now to ensure that Arsenal don't get too much wind in those sails.
Big
tackle taken down again. Jorgensen this time.
Yeah, it's a huge tackle right through the back. Referee right on top of it. And it is a reaction when they start to bop it, move it around, and great
Yellow
little
card.
touches. Trossard very clever, very intelligent. He just sees the challenge coming, just sets it off. Luckily, he's already up. He knows the contact's coming. If not, you keep your legs on that floor, you're in danger when it's sliding through the back of you. Referee straight away issues the yellow card.
So yellow cards for Onyeka and Matthias Jorgensen and Gabriel in this game already. 1-0 Arsenal lead thanks to Declan Rice's quite wonderful header. Brilliant cross as well. And Arsenal, who have been full of confidence, and why not, given the run that they've been on. Mikel Arteta's team looking for an 8th Premier League win in a row since the turn of the year. And any team in the past of the Premier League that's had anything like a start like this has always gone on to win the title, start to a new calendar year. The way they have just flawlessly blown opponents away in recent weeks has been so impressive. And surely it looks like Arsenal have learned from last season when their campaign faltered in the second, maybe the last third of the campaign. This time round, they appear to have learned from those lessons, and if anything, Arsenal look stronger now than they did in the first stage of the season.
I think that's the question marks, isn't it, of are they being underestimated, this Arsenal side, because they're scoring goals freely, wonderful way, great energy, mature, wanting to play quickly, seem very fit, very bright, the energy levels are fantastic, and all sorts of different ways, but this guy who's just going to touch it, Declan Rice, his all-round game.
Collins under pressure on the edge of the penalty area from Rice, manages to wriggle away and touch it back to the goalkeeper Flecken. Nothing Flecken could do about the Arsenal goal. That was planted beyond him. Flecken goes long towards Ivan Toney, socks low down around his ankles. Jorginho helping out Gabriel. Header from Air towards Toney again, leaning backwards, falls into Gabriel, who's got to be careful on the yellow card. Referee says no, free kick and play on. Arsenal 1, Brentford 0. White rolls it back to Aaron Ramsdale. 6th appearance since Raya's arrival for Ramsdale. 3 of them now have been against Brentford, so he certainly knows this opponent well. Ball goes out of play on the far side for a throw into the visitors. So what does Thomas Frank do from here? Form has been disappointing for Brentford lately. They are 16 points worse off than they were at this stage last season. Trossard tries to control. It was an awkward one. Ball came to him from high up and he wasn't able to control it, but Kivior does. Arsenal regain possession. Warm applause around the Emirates. Here's Kivior again near the centre circle with the yellow boots. Comes forward and lays it on to the German Kai Havertz. Now out to the right wing. Bukayo Saka attacking the penalty area. Low ball. Brilliant touch from Odegaard. Can he get the shot away? Gives it on to Havertz. Saved by Flecken. Some beautiful touches in the build-up there from Arsenal.
They just look so good to the eye. The players technically fantastic, wanting to make things happen. Wonderful little turn. Odegaard under pressure. Norgard coming tight. He just drifts back, pulls it with his back foot out of his feet. He's trying to find an opening. Havertz as well gets his shot away. Flecken delighted as he just puts that knee to the floor, collects it in, but they're under a great amount of pressure. Arsenal just playing so well, so confident, dynamic. It's exciting to watch the stadium as well, the atmosphere, everything about them, and what an opportunity. Top of the league at this stage, would you have said it?
Ireland have got another try at Twickenham. England 8, Ireland 17 with the conversion to come. Here in North London, Arsenal 1, Brentford 0, 25 minutes played. Mikel Arteta's team, as things stand, going to the top of the Premier League tonight. Liverpool play Manchester City tomorrow, and that game is live on 5 Live. It's a strange kick-off time, 3:45. Full coverage with correspondent John Murray on 5 Live. Here comes Gabriel, 10 yards into Brentford territory. Gives it short to Martin Odegaard. To his right-hand side is William Saliba. Arsenal thoroughly in control, Michael Brown.
They are, and just Brentford just waiting, delaying. The problem is, once you have that goal, that's the difference, isn't it? Arsenal are up, they're firing. Brentford think, well, okay, when is it? When do we change our game plan? When do we start progressing forward? I don't think they can yet. I think they've just got to wait, Connor, delay as much as possible, try and stay in the game. Don't concede any more at this point, because then Arsenal will really take it on.
Jack Crowley missed the conversion for Ireland, so it remains England 8, Ireland 17. Ireland will win the Six Nations if they get the bonus point victory. It's all going towards a Grand Slam, though, next weekend for Andy Farrell's team. As Odegaard gives it to White on the right-hand side. Back into Martin Odegaard. This is just outside the penalty area. What a turn by Saka. Hoists it up over the goalkeeper. No one to the back post. Roarsled had to be sure. He heads it out for a corner. But Arsenal are just toying with Brentford here.
Yeah, Odegaard, he's absolutely playing on top of his game. The orchestra in the middle. That left foot, wonderful passes, vision to play balls forward. He just comes on the edge of the area. Reverse pass into Saka as he hits the byline. Deft little touch, there's nobody there as he just dinks it, little sandwich to the back post, but Brentford managed to clear it away, and now another set piece. Will the delivery be as good?
Arsenal score a lot of goals from corners. Most of their players are housed at the far post from where this is going to come in. Now they scramble forward. Rice's delivery, and the header is up and away by Gabriel. He was trying to flick it onto the front post. It is wide of the target. Two Brentford players might have bundled into each other there. There's two of them who've been down and slow to get back up to their feet. Another good delivery from Declan Rice. 1-0 it remains.
The wind's perfect, isn't it? The conditions, it just drifts all the way in towards that far post. Desperate defending from Brentford. Gabriel just attacking it, and because they come from such a deep position, it's hard to mark. They mostly feel that suits them, the right delivery. People can go and run and attack that front post. Arteta pointing, demanding as he just steps on that white line in front of his technical area. He's got to be delighted, and you know what it'll mean to him. Fire in his belly, driving the team forward, the demands that he sets upon himself and his team.
Into the final 20 laps now at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Verstappen leads from Perez, the Red Bull pair leading the way. Coverage of that available right now on the BBC Sport website. Here on 5 Live Sports Extra. Arsenal 1, Brentford 0. Throw in for the home side. Ben White, who knows Brentford's Ivan Toney well. They were teammates at Peterborough together in the past. And Kivior here plays a pass up to Trossard on the left wing. Roerslev getting back into position. Trossard comes infield of him and gives it short to Jorginho, then across the edge of the penalty area. Brentford player went down there off the ball. I'm not sure what happened there. This is White. White's lost it on the edge of the box. Onyeka tries to charge away. Fouled by Odegaard. Free kick to Brentford, which is taken quickly. Toney wallops it in front of Wissa. Maybe that was less haste, more speed there. He's taken it too quickly, Ivan Toney. Or has he? Hang on, because Wissa's won the ball away from Kivior. Arsenal with a mistake there. Ball in towards Toney, can't control in the penalty area. Ben White clears away to Rice.
Yes, the one breakaway, that is the danger, isn't it? Wissa, Ivan Toney, so they can't score a goal, this Brentford side, but they want to delay it a bit longer. They try to move it very, very quickly, but they're under so much pressure. The runs are excellent. It's forward decision making that they're playing. Odegaard's on the ball all the time. Look how good he looks.
Martin Odegaard, who has yet to win a trophy in his career. I mean, he's been around forever, hasn't he? He broke through as an absolute kid. Real Madrid paid a fortune for him as a young teenager. Any trophies Madrid won, though, he was out on loan, and he is hoping to get his first bit of silverware as Arsenal captain this season. Odegaard to the right-hand side to Ben White, level with the edge of the penalty area. Back into Odegaard. Everything's going through the number 8. Plays the ball into the penalty area, which I assume was meant as a pass, but it goes all the way through to Flecken, and there's going to be a delay here. Flecken kicks the ball out of play, so that is it Norgard, who's gone down, can get some treatment. Arsenal 1, Brentford 0. Half an hour played at the Emirates. Christian Norgard lying flat on his back, and on comes the Brentford physio to check if he's okay.
He's not the only one who's been around for quite a while. That's there's a couple of us, Connor, you know, 1 or 2. But listen, I just think if there's a slight injury there, Brentford are going to try and take the time. They're going to wait, delay. Thomas Frank, get everybody around. Mikel Arteta. It's one of these now where there's that stoppage, that delay. Coaches, all the staff around and trying to give some details. Seeing the delight now, that rerun. Declan Rice saying come on, showing you the finish that he had as he just glides into the penalty area and just drifts that header into the far post. And he's got to be delighted with his move so far, how it's gone. He'll be desperate to deliver a Premier League title, because he will get all of the rewards, I'm sure.
So a break in play here while Norgard gets some treatment. He's being escorted off the pitch. He looks like he's going to be okay. Mikel Arteta took advantage of that delay to have an impromptu team talk. All the players were brought over, even the goalkeeper Ramsdale. Arteta's got to be pleased, but, and you can see him down this, pointing to his temple, he's tapping his head, he's saying concentrate, don't let this slip now.
Ramsdale will be saying leave off me, don't have another go at me, I'm only just playing half an hour, I'm just enjoying being out there in front of the supporters. He will have waited a long time for this, wouldn't he, Ramsdale? But the detail now, the staff, all the support that they get, unbelievable, excellent quality now. And that's the difference in it. They see something in the stand all around us. The analyst just dropping a little bit of information.
Arsenal 1, Brentford 0. Flecken booms it away down the field. Gabriel jumps and rises. This is a very young Arsenal team. Average age just 25. They've been the 3rd youngest average age team in the Premier League this season. It all bodes very well for the future. But of course Arsenal want to win in the here and the now. Saliba jumps well, gets a header. Back by Collins for Brentford. Wissa's able to control it. He's looked good today, Wissa. Then a slip by Onyeka as he tries to play one over the top, and I think he sent that a bit further than he meant to. Down goes Gabriel under pressure from Janelt, and the referee blows the whistle, much to the Arsenal defenders' relief.
Yeah, the defender has been aggressive from Arsenal. Wherever there's a 1v1 situation, they're going to go tight, they're going to go strong. They know Brentford can commit and get into different situations, but it's been a wonderful first half an hour from an Arsenal point of view. Thomas Frank has got that experience now of not really too fussed if he doesn't get the ball. He'll wait and he'll know his side can come forward, and he'll just want to stay in it.
He's having a tough old time of it results-wise.
Yeah.
Thomas Frank, you know, and he's got a lot stored up in the bank. He's a lot of goodwill. I think Brentford have made an awful lot of friends since coming up to the Premier League. But there's no doubt the standards this season have been a letdown compared to what we saw before. Arsenal attack again. White's delivery in. Collins heads it out. Kivior is going to collect for Arsenal. Far side of the pitch from us.
I think we've got to understand as well, though, that the amount of players that they had missing right through the heart, the areas in the wider positions, wing backs, etc. Ivan Toney at the top of the pitch. So, you know, and then they come, when they all came back, they had a really bad run of fixtures ahead of them. So now we'll hopefully see some improvement.
I mean, if you look at the first choice back four that Brentford had last season, they've all been injured this season. The whole back four. So Havertz tried to pull one back across the edge of the 6-yard box there, but it was cleared away. And then Toney tries a little backheel volley, which doesn't work, and the ball goes out for a throw into Arsenal, which Odegaard takes quickly, and everything's been so fast from Arsenal here. Odegaard to the byline, trying to flick it into Saka, and he nearly reached it too. Matthias Jorgensen is there to clear away, but it's like Odegaard and Havertz and Jorginho, they're all operating at a higher plane at the moment. Lightning fast speed of thought.
Yeah, because when they've got the ball as well, they can do different things. Special players when you're winning games as well. There's a little reverse pass, and Odegaard's to the byline trying to jink it inside to Saka, just runs away. But we're finally looking to make that change, Brentford, because they've been under pressure. There's been that injury carrying, and they've had to do it.
Yeah, Matthias Jensen's going to come on in place of Christian Norgard, who just looks uncomfortable as he makes his way off the field, and up against this Arsenal central three. They can't afford to carry anyone, so Matthias Jensen comes in. He's been a regular throughout the campaign, and he will join Onyeka and Janelt in a Brentford midfield that has so far been overrun at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal lead by 1-0 on Sports Extra. 10 minutes to go to half-time. White's throw-in, flicked on by Havertz. Can't pick out a teammate, though. Wissa tries to head it away, and it goes to Saliba. Now back to Kivior. Arsenal near the halfway line with Declan Rice, the goal scorer. Wonderful header from Rice, and what could be a big year for him with the Euros to come. And I say this as an Irishman, Michael, but a lot of England players look to be in the form of their lives at the moment. Bellingham, Foden. Here comes a German. Havertz into the penalty area, across the face of goal and wide. Flecken came out to try and narrow the angle. Havertz tried to dink it over him, just off target.
Yeah, it's really tight as well. We get another look at it. Just waits, pulls on the shoulder. His touch is excellent. It looks like he was going to run away. He did everything right. Flecken approaching. He just tries to clip it over him, agonisingly, just drifts wide. It misses the target by some, though, but wonderful ball in the midfield area. Jorginho, Havertz on the same page, but yeah, it's going back to your point. England players playing well, getting into good positions, scoring, affecting games. That's what we want to see.
This is Trossard to Declan Rice just inside his own half. Back to Jorginho. Jorginho, who back in his Chelsea days scored a penalty against Brentford in a League Cup match. White gives it to Bukayo Saka. It's all very easy and straightforward for Mikel Arteta's team at the moment, but Arteta will want the insurance policy of a second goal here. 1-0 is always a dangerous lead in a Premier League game with so long still to play. But so far so good for Arsenal. They're bid to go top of the table and put a bit of extra pressure on Klopp and Guardiola tomorrow. Trossard coming in off the touchline on the far side. Rice can't control it, came to him sort of stomach height. Jorgensen touches it back to the goalkeeper, and Flecken's clearance up towards the halfway line. Brentford can't hold it up at all. They clear it away towards the Arsenal defence, and they immediately lose it. Time and time again, Arsenal come back towards them. This occasion, Gabriel rolls it back to Ramsdale. His pass over to Ben White. This is on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. White goes back to Ramsdale once again. Now Gabriel, now Kivior, as they look to play their way up towards the halfway line. Trossard, Rorslev in behind him. Trossard smuggles it back. Applause from the Arsenal fans. He managed to squeeze out of a tight corner there. Rice continues to pick up positions wide on the left-hand side, and now he's coming forward, running at Jorginho. Jorgensen, I should say. Here's Saka into the penalty area on the right, taking on Collins and hoisting it up over the top. Had that been a little lower, it might even have nestled into the far top corner. But Saka puts it out for a goal kick to Brentford, who trail here by a goal to nil.
Yeah, wonderful counter-attack. Brentford tried to narrow up. It's on for Saka just to run and commit. I think he's better than that, really. I think he's caught in two minds when he's trying to get a shot into the far post or just fire it across that 6-yard area. But the space was there, they developed, the counter-attack quick, and then they switched the play so quickly, sometimes with a short pass, then the long pass we've just seen before. Havertz getting on the long one, so it's a mixed bag. It's different ways to score, set pieces, long and short, crosses and hold-up play.
Here's Jensen for Brentford. Gives it up to Wissa, onto Lewis Potter, well closed down by Saliba, and out comes Ramsdale to grab the ball, and a big roar of encouragement. They're trying to keep his spirits up, the Arsenal fans. Again, he goes long with the distribution, but too far in front of Trossard and picked out by Matthias Jorgensen. Brentford have it again. Arsenal went 1-0 up in this game last season before Brentford came back to earn a draw. Thomas Frankel just hoped that that can repeat itself. Janelt back to Matthias Jorgensen, who's now started 4 games in a row. It's been his best run in the side for over a year. Flecken plays it back to the Dane once again, then infield to Janelt. Janelt, who's sort of taken up the Norgard position since Norgard went on. That's some pass to pick out Lewis Potter. That must have travelled the bones of 70 yards. Then Lewis Potter is held up by White as he tries to cross, and Arsenal doing so well at repelling any sort of Brentford attack. Here is Onyeka, back out to Lewis Potter on the left-hand side, 10 yards outside the penalty area that Brentford attack. Back to the centre circle. Christopher Ayer to Matthias Jorgensen. Onto Mads Rorslev. He'll cross on the right-hand side, looking for Tony, well held by Ramsdale. He had to stretch up high. The ball stuck to his gloves.
It's a great take. We've seen that moment before. He tried that throw quickly. It just ran away, didn't it, from Trossard on this occasion. Deep cross from that right-hand side. Wonderful take. He's had a little look at it, and now with his feet, what does he do? He goes direct, and that's one of the question marks, isn't it? Whether he could do that, whether he could improve Arsenal with his feet, and that's why he missed out, but he did okay there.
That's the voice of Michael Brown watching this game with us at the Emirates. Arsenal leading Brentford by a goal to nil, and on the charge is the goal scorer Declan Rice. Tries to break into the penalty area, tackled by Matthias Jorgensen. Oh, it's a terrible clearance by him again. He's given it straight to Odegaard. 10 yards outside the penalty area, slightly left of centre. Arsenal would love a second goal by half-time. Saka drifts into a more central position than we've seen him today. Jorginho to Kivior, back to Gabriel, a whirl of passes in front of the Brentford penalty area. Gabriel involved again, edges a little bit closer to that box, gives it to Kivior on the left-hand side. And these will be energy-sapping sequences of play as Brentford try to stick close and try to deny Arsenal opportunities. Trossard turns in an arc in front of the D, dummies to shoot, then he does shoot. He was a long way out. Flecken makes the save. He would have needed to be spectacular for Trossard to score from there.
Yeah, it will be a good play. Everybody just queuing up, waiting for little gaps, positions to open, but Trossard steps forward, pushes it out with that right foot. He sees that little opening. The shot comfortable down the right-hand side for Flecken. And the counter's still on, though.
And a long ball played by Brentford carries all the way through to the goalkeeper Ramsdale. Tell you what, it's all kicking off at Twickenham. Ireland, who had a comfortable lead, now trail. England 18, Ireland 17. Tries from Lawrence and Furbank and kicks from Ford have put England back in front in the Six Nations. Ireland, who were hotly fancied going into that one. Commentary available right now on our sister station 5 Live. 4 minutes to go to the break here at the Emirates. Mark Flecken clears the ball out for a throw-in on the far side.
You seem to be smiling when he's delivering them results there, weren't you, on the rugby a little bit? Or not? Or was I mistaken?
England have got another 2. England 2017. There's no smiling from this side of the commentary box, Mr. Brown. And I've been very complimentary about the England footballers, so come on.
I'm very complimentary about it as well.
Here is Trossard.
I know you're fair.
Hang on, he's given it away to Tony. Brentford looking to spring a counter-attack, but they don't have the energy in the legs, and White is able to pick it up very quickly. It can be demoralising when you play against a team as dominant as Arsenal here. It's almost like Brentford don't expect to get little half chances, so when they do come their way, difficult to switch on and suddenly grasp them. Arsenal have it with Ramsdale again away to our left-hand side wearing green.
I think when the score's like this, though, I think you realise you can come back at any point. So it's just, can we get to half-time? Can we keep it at this sort of distance? It has been total domination.
Gabriel in front of Trossard into the penalty area. Pulls in across. Saka gets up, hit on the volley by Havertz, and he couldn't keep it down. It's over the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Saka tried to jump and head it. It was just too high for him. And then Havertz tried to adapt and get his body shape right, and he wasn't able to get the technique that was needed. 2 minutes to go to the break. Arsenal still lead Brentford 1-0.
What's really impressive is the forward runs with intensity, the weight of the pass, the quality as it gets into good areas. The cross comes in. You see Saka just waiting, just misses it. Havertz coming around with that left foot, just couldn't direct it back towards goal. And for all this domination, Thomas Frank, your Brentford, you sort of go, okay, it's not that bad. It was something to build on, something to go at. Arsenal, all this pressure, need to get a second.
Down goes Havertz. He wants a free kick. The referee says no. Brentford have possession. Nathan Collins under pressure, helped out by Janelt. Lewis Potter hoofs it on, but anywhere will do. No accuracy to that clearance. Trossard with a calming header gets it back for Kivior, and then it's popped over the top for Odegaard to sprint after. And although Rosa got there, it was Ayer who got there first. Odegaard was able to get it off him, his Norwegian international colleague. Jorginho now to Trossard, to Saka, just outside the D. Arsenal keeping up this high tempo. Odegaard urged to shoot, sends it in. Ayer jumps and wins a header on the edge of the 6-yard box. Brentford under immense pressure, but they are holding it to 1-0 for now.
Yeah, there's just nowhere to go though. Evan Toney just finding it tough. They haven't got the ball. The wider areas, they're just pinning that back five into the shape, and the midfielders joining in. All the space for Odegaard, and he's Declan Rice again.
And his cross from the left-hand side is wild, and it sails over everyone, including Saka, and goes out for a goal kick.
It's just that overload, isn't it? Declan Rice at this point, just finding a position. The delivery's good, no pressure on the ball in sort of Jorginho's territory and around those positions, and the runs are good. That's why we've seen so much, haven't we? Odegaard, Declan Rice, and Havertz, Trossard, Saka, all being good. Brentford, it's still in it, they're hanging in, they've got a fight, they've got a resilience about them, and they'll be just looking and thinking, being in the midfield before against sides like this where you're away and you're struggling in the Premier League, you're thinking is let's just get inside, let's get some detail, let's get a rest.
Arsenal have got a very big week to come. Wissa has gone down, it's a head injury, so the referee is holding play, but I don't think it's going to be a free kick to Brentford. The only reason the referee has stopped play is because it is a head injury. But if Arsenal win this game, they go top. Liverpool who host Manchester City tomorrow. Arsenal's next game is in the Champions League, the home leg against Porto, where they've got to try and come from behind in the Champions League on Tuesday. Then next weekend Arsenal go away to Manchester City. I mean, that is a huge week for Mikel Arteta. That could quite literally make or break their season.
Well, it's big. Everybody's looking to that game at the Etihad. We've got other games as well, so this is it. It's the business end of the season. We've got to get through this. Champions League, so important for that momentum as well. The players will be desperate to deliver in that, but Joe, can this squad cope? Are they in a better position? We think they are. They're so interested at the top of this Premier League. This is where we are this week. This is what's in front of them, and you know, who would bet against them? They're just getting better.
1-0 Arsenal lead. Free kick to the visitors. Kai Havertz, the guilty party here, who's gone in forcefully with Christopher Ayer. They're both jumping in the air. It's a swing of the arm, and it's the elbow that does collide with the face of the opponent, so the VAR will look at this, I'm sure, in the background. The yellow card is out. It's confirmation of it, but I'm pretty sure Havertz has been booked. VAR will still look to see if there's any further case to answer.
I think he swings his arm, it's in a dangerous position. His VAR needs to get involved too much, not for me. You can see yellow card deals with it, no problem, let's get on with the game. Yes, there's a slight injury, but I do think Brentford are just delaying it a little bit more than usual. The last few injuries that they've had, but he has caught one. Referee sort of explaining why he makes these decisions, and it's that breather, isn't it, for me, because it's been total control from Arsenal.
Now, I think one of the Brentford players has got booked for complaining here as well. I'm not 100% sure of this, so we'll confirm it in a moment, but the card is still out for referee Rob Jones. We're not missing any live action because Christopher Ayer is still lying on the ground. Maybe Jones was just writing in the name of Kai Havertz on the card. It just seems strange that he was holding it while talking to the Brentford players. Anyway, another break in play, more to ponder for Mikel Arteta and for Thomas Frank.
He might just be spell checking just to make sure he gets it right. So here's a report. Is
that Kai with an eye?
Get it wrong? Has he got it correct or not?
So we're midway through the stoppage period. This will all be added on ahead of the break. In the second half, we'll be joined by listeners on 5 Live once that rugby is finished at Twickenham. During half time here, we will hear updates from what's happened elsewhere today up and down the land. It's been a busy day of sport across all codes. Play will resume here. Ayer's back up on his feet, having got that blow to the face, and he's okay to continue. So at the end of all that, it was a yellow to Kai Havertz, and that was it.
He did swing now, didn't he? He did catch him. In frustration, the Emirates are facing. I don't think they need to get too frustrated. That suit, you know, me, the fans are getting frustrated and say that's fine, we're all right, we're still in it.
Arsenal fans who've been almost spoilt lately with the gluttony of goals that they've been able to score in games. 1-0 actually feels low scoring by Arsenal standards here. They had that run, wasn't it? Was it 8 successive Premier League halves in a row that they scored at least 2 goals in, which no one's ever even nearly done that before in Premier League history. That came to an end when they didn't score 2 in the second half at Sheffield United on Monday. Of course, they were already 6-0 in front. But this will be another half where they don't score 2, and the only reason I'm mentioning him, that's no disgrace. Oh, what's Ramsdale done here? He's been charged down by Wissa, and Aaron Ramsdale on his return to the Arsenal team has dropped an absolute clanger. He's dilly-dallied on the ball. He looks like he's seen a ghost. He can't believe it. Wissa charges in to put a challenge on the goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale, and with David Raya looking on in the stands, ineligible to play against his parent club, Ramsdale's mistake has cancelled out Arsenal's lead ahead of half-time. Michael Brown, there was no danger there.
There was no danger, he just waits, and what he does, he tries to play it through the centre, and he's got to just carry on the way he's going out to that right hand side. But full credit to Wissa, he doesn't give it up, he keeps going, he chases Gabriel, he then goes for the next one, he just slides right across that Ramsdale, and when it's not going for you, it just bounces up. The disappointment as he just rubs his gloves there as it just drops into the net. Astonishing at the end. Arteta looks like he's fuming with his arms crossed.
Aaron Ramsdale looks physically sick. He looks like his world has just collapsed there. Having waited so long to get back into this team, he has made an almighty howler there. He's controlled the ball. He's done this little extra motion, Michael, sort of steadying himself before walloping the ball away. He didn't have time for that. Just get rid of it. You're on your goal line. There's a guy running in at you. Just get rid.
But is he allowed to do that? He always has to pass. That's the problem, because he thinks I've got to play, I've got to pass, I've got to bring someone in. Then the last second under pressure, he just goes to pull it. He needed to go out to the angle that he was, and look how things change, and it's sad. Football's a lonely place. These supporters will get behind Aaron Ramsdale. They'll understand what he's gone through. He has to recover, he has to come back out. A few of the staff will just walk. It was brilliant from some of his players as well, by the way. Centre backs, all the players around him, Arsenal straight over to Ramsdale. They know what it means to him, and that was a bit of support. All the substitutes over to him now, that little high five and a pat. He won't really want that, but what an interesting ending to this first half.
What about that? The timing of it in the 5th minute of stoppages has brought Brentford back on level terms. It is a goal that will be celebrated as vigorously on Merseyside and in Manchester as it will be in West London. Brentford are back on level terms here. Poor Aaron Ramsdale, he looks like his heart is broken as he makes his way down into the tunnel. But in the wider context of the title race, this is a huge development. Arsenal completely dominated that first half, but one mistake has been punished, and that's what happens to you in the Premier League.
That's what happens, and I said, when you don't get that second goal, for all the dominance, for all the belief, Brentford will feel like they've got an opportunity. You know they've got a threat at the top of the pitch, they've got a resilience, a fight about them. But that's a huge mistake in a key game. Ramsdale, was he overconfident? Was he not? What was the delay all about? Wisser as well, you've got to give him that compliment, you've got to give him the desire that he showed to get into that position as he slides right across. Normally when we see that ricochet as well, it just flies away, and on this occasion when it's not going for you, it just bounced up, and you almost knew, didn't you? You just waited and it just dropped into that corner, and that shock on his face struck.
It is Arsenal 1, Brentford 1. That equaliser from Wisher has made this very exciting now. His 5th Premier League goal of the season on what is his 100th appearance for Brentford. Brentford, who've lost 12 of their last 16 Premier League games, but they are right back in this. It's a huge second half to come. Come back to us for that. And as ever on a Saturday, it's been a busy day of sport with all of the action covered in 5 Live Sport. Let's get the news of the rest of the day's sporting headlines with Steve Crossman.
Elsewhere in the Premier League, a stoppage-time goal from Corley Woodrow saw Luton Town snatch a draw against Crystal Palace. Here's Luton boss Rob Edwards with George Cummins.
Well, Rob, just sum up how you're feeling. What an end to the game for you.
It was a great end to the game for us. It was such a challenging day. We obviously, and it's well documented. I know there's a number of teams struggling with injuries at the moment, but we've got a lot. And then to have to bring 2 centre-backs off during the game as well made it really challenging for us. You know, in a day where it was already difficult for us to have loads of rhythm, and we weren't at our best. Credit to Palace for that. There wasn't loads in the game. I think possession was split evenly, but they probably had edged it first half. I thought we had momentum in the second half, but couldn't really create loads of chances, and crosses coming in, but not loads of quality in that final third. And then to have to juggle the pack and shuffle the pack like we did, force changes. Players deserve a lot of credit. So it's a good feeling now, as disappointed as we felt last week after losing a point late on. We've got one there. I think it just says a lot about the group that they don't know when they're beaten, they keep going. We have scored a lot, we conceded late as well, but we have scored a lot of late goals, and that point could be huge for us going forward.
In the Championship, leaders Leicester City dropped points. They were held to a 2-2 draw at Hull City. Ipswich stay third after losing at Cardiff at lunchtime. The host scored twice in stoppage time. Southampton are fourth after a dramatic 4-2 win over Sunderland. Stoke moved out of the relegation zone after winning 2-1 at Preston. Back in the Premier League, Sheffield United had to settle for a point after leading 2-0 at Bournemouth. It finished 2-2. Here's manager Chris Wilder with John Akers.
Chris, so near and yet so far.
Yeah, it would have been a big 3 points. I'm realistic. Any sort of result today, off the back of what happened Monday, would have been a good result, and we've got that.
You showed some good resilience. Your players showed some resilience, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know if you looked at the end. There was bodies everywhere. It was like a war zone.
Everyone had cramp.
Everybody had cramp. There was people going down. We're making physical substitutions, which is, listen, is maybe a longer term sort of talk about that in terms of robustness and recruitment and everything else that goes with. But you can never build any sort of momentum. You're taking people off at key times because they can't last the race, and you're really hoping and fingers crossed that those boys don't get injured and obviously be out for a big certain period.
And it's a point to take into the next home game as well.
We're off the bottom. So we'll take that. We've got a big home game coming up. We've got 2 or 3 weeks now. Obviously, we don't play next Saturday. We've got an international break, so there's a big chunk of period there. So hopefully we can get 3 or 4 of the players back, and we have to do so much better at home now. That's got to be the focus.
Chris Wilder. Portsmouth's lead in League One is down to 5 points. They were held to a goalless draw at 10-man Blackpool. Derby up to second after winning 3-0 at Bristol Rovers. Bolton dropped to third after drawing 2-2 at Exeter. The early game in the Premier League. Penalties from Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford, enough for Manchester United to beat Everton at Old Trafford. United boss Eric Ten Hag has been speaking to Steve Wilson.
Eric, congratulations. You needed to win, and it was fairly comfortable for you in the end.
You always have to fight for your points. And there are no easy games, and especially not Everton. I think they have a very good style of play, very good structure, difficult to beat. Also, other teams very struggling with them, so we really complement. But I have to say, we created a lot of chances, and we had very good counterattacks. I think overall we could have scored 3-4 goals, and I think we defended very well. They had attempts, but we dealt with this. Our back four, but not only our back four. Don't forget the keeper, and don't forget all the other players. We defended as a team very well.
Your 2 penalties were both brilliantly taken, weren't they? I mean, Bruno and Marcus are terrific penalty takers, and they very straightforward decisions, obviously penalties, and very well taken.
I think so, but it's more the setup, how we came in behind, and Alejandro did brilliant. And it were really tempo dribbles, and then it's very difficult to stop. So he deserved the penalties. It was, as you say, quite obvious. Maybe we should have even had a penalty more with a handball, where Bruno was in a position to finish. But yeah, it's also part of the game, and we took them well, as you say. And we have very good penalty takers with Bruno, with Ressi, also Casemiro, Christian Eriksen. Yeah, it's a part of football.
Erik ten Hag. Mansfield stay 3 points clear in League 2 after beating Swindon. Second place Stockport won at Newport. Wrexham stay third thanks to a 3-1 victory at 10-man Morecambe. Wolves beat Fulham by 2-1 at Molineux. Here's manager Gary O'Neill with Pat Murphy.
Your celebrations at the end, have you been rehearsing them? Are they coming naturally?
No, forced into them by the supporters. They forced me to do them. So, I mean, I'm delighted that they're happy. So, I hope they're really, really proud of their team today, because they should be, because the team gave absolutely everything there. I mean, if I was a Wolves fan, which obviously I am at this moment, but if I'd grown up being a Wolves fan and you asked me what I wanted to see from my team, that would be it. So I think the players deserve an awful lot of credit, and I'm sure the supporters have, as they always do, given their full backing again. They'll be back again next Saturday and get behind the boys, and let's see what we can do.
This is a fan base that's in love with your team. Is that stretching too much of a point?
I'm not sure. I don't listen to noise, really, apart from when it's out there and it's ringing around the stadium, like as in media stuff, and I'm just really focused on what we're trying to do. So I feel that they love their team at this moment. Can change quickly, because losing football matches changes everything, but I can guarantee them that if we lose, it'll be trying as hard as we can. So I think they've sort of accepted that. They understand that the group is giving their what it can, and we will fall short on certain things, but it won't be for a lack of effort or togetherness.
In Scotland, Neil Warnock has stepped down as Aberdeen's interim manager less than an hour after leading the club to the Scottish Cup semi-finals. He was watching his team beat Kilmarnock 2-1, then announced that he's going to leave. Aberdeen Dave McCormack says the club are at an advanced stage in their search for a replacement. So yeah, Neil Warnock is going with immediate effect. England's men's cricketers are preparing to leave India after another humiliating defeat, this time in the final test match of the series. The hosts just needed 48 overs to dismiss England this morning, winning by an innings and 64 runs and winning the series 4-1. Historic moment though for Jimmy Anderson, taking his 700th test wicket. Scores for you in the Welsh Premier League. Newtown 2, Cardiff Met 0, Barrytown 1, Colwyn Bay 1. The game between Pontypridd and Aberystwyth was postponed. And in Northern Ireland, Ballymena 2, Crusaders 4, Carrick Rangers 0, Newry City 1, Coleraine 0, Larne 0, Glenavon 4, Dungannon 0, and Glentoran 0, Loughgall 3.
And very thanks to Steve Crossman for bringing us up to date with what's been happening up and down the land. Here at the Emirates Stadium, it is Arsenal 1, Brentford 1 after a dramatic first half. Arsenal, who played the better football, scored the opening goal through Declan Rice. But Aaron Ramsey on Ramsdale on his return to the Arsenal team, because David Raya is ineligible against his parent club, has made a mistake, a fatal hesitation in stoppage time just before half-time that allowed Joanna Wissa to nip in and score a goal to make it 1-1. Wissa, who's now scored in 3 Premier League matches in a row, scored against West Ham, scored against Chelsea, he's now scored against Arsenal. First time in his career that he's done that. And where is this game going to go next, Michael Brown? 1-1.
Well, that is the question, isn't it? Do you know what? You stick at games, you have that fight, you have that belief. Mistakes happen, but it's about making runs, it's believing in yourself. And your Brentford have been completely outclassed in that first half, but you know they've stuck to task, and they get rewards for making runs at times that you you wouldn't normally get to. And yes, Ramsdale's made that mistake. Arsenal were really, really good in this first half, but again, you've got to score the second. They've got to make sure that dominance counts when they're in key positions. They've got that firepower, and you do feel like it's going to be business as usual. They're going to come and dominate, but now Brentford just have that little bit of fight. They come at the right time, they get that rest to try and work out how they're better when Arsenal are overloading in the wider areas. The midfield runners need to get a little bit closer, but they've got a good second half ahead.
It feels like the kind of game has done since the start that Brentford won. Trying to get many chances. It felt key that they would take what opportunities did come their way. Johan Wissa has certainly done that. And 1-1 has completely changed the mood of what was a almost exultant Emirates Stadium. Now suddenly the nerves begin to creep in, the fear that Arsenal might let this opportunity pass them by. Remember, win this game and Mikel Arteta's team go to the top of the Premier League, but they won't go top if they lose, they won't go top if they draw. And with Liverpool playing Manchester City tomorrow and at least one of them due to drop points, this would be crazy if Arsenal were not to take the 3 and give themselves that fighting chance going into the closing stages of the title race. 10 Premier League matches to go after this one for Mikel Arteta and for Arsenal. We're still awaiting the return of the players back out onto the pitch after half-time. But I guess Mikel Arteta will be telling his players, look, you've dominated there. One mistake has cost us, but if we play the way we did in the first half, we will win the game.
I don't think there's anything different than that. I think he's got an important role. I'd be interested to know what player-manager relationship is between the goalkeeper and the manager, especially beforehand. Does he go and say, this is what I need from you, or are they not really on best of talking points? And that's it, that sometimes happens. Will he just go, don't worry about it, let's get on with it? Will he be critical? Will he be quite aggressive in his approach, saying, why did it take so long? This is the detail that I give you, this is what happened. So his teammates were there to support him, but now they have to come out and continue with that type of performance. I thought they were really good, to be honest. I thought they were really attractive to the eye. They wanted to make things happen. The organisation, the distances between obviously defence, midfield and the forward line were good. Runs were excellent, and there was a mixture of, again, like I said to you, short passes, long passes, crosses, runs in wide areas. And it's interesting, this is the way you've got to find different types of performances, grind out results. It doesn't come easy, these Premier League titles, and now they've got to fight in a total different second half where you thought they would have been cruising.
And Sharon Ramsdale, who would have been wanting so dearly to make a good impression. You think back, he started the opening few games of the season. Arteta brings Raya in on loan, and actually a lot of Arsenal fans were put out by that. They were upset as the teams come back out here, and Raya got a bit of stick himself in his opening games. And I think that is what will sting Ramsdale the most here, because he knows there is a goodwill from the Arsenal fans, but even some of them will be thinking, gee, we brought him back in today and he's made a mistake. They'll begin to doubt if Ramsdale can be trusted going forward.
Well, he has made a mistake, but when does he get to play a game, Connor? He doesn't get to play. Mikel Arteta said, I will make changes throughout the way, and he didn't deliver that. So you can only wait so long, and despondent, he sat there disappointed, thinking, he played at Brentford, didn't he? Now, and he gets another opportunity today, but there's just too long a gap without any game time, any performances. And you know what he actually said as well? At certain times he'd make decisions. Well, when they're 5 up and 6 up, why is he not giving them a run? Because he'd be in a better situation than he is now. Listen, I'm not defending Ramsdale today, because that's whatever you've not played, however rusty you are, that's poor from him, and he'll know that, and he'll set his own standards. But he's not on his own when it comes to the situation that he's in. The manager's made that decision. He said he was going to do something that he's not done, and that's the only thing I would say. Arteta's been wonderful what he's delivered to this football club. That's probably one of the disappointing ones that I've got, that he hasn't really done it right.
Drama at Twickenham, where England have landed a late drop goal from Marcus Smith to beat Ireland by 23 points to 22. Ireland do not secure the Six Nations Championship today, and they won't be able to win the Grand Slam. Andy Farrell's team beaten at Twickenham. Huge day for Steve Borthwick in England. More reaction to come for that across 5 Live and the BBC Sport website. But for now, we're about to get started for the second half.
There is a lesson though, isn't it? You never count your money when you're sitting at the table.
100%.
And we did see Ireland just take that lead, and now changes so quickly.
So, will there be changes so quickly in this game? Back underway, 1-1 of the Emirates. Arsenal against Brentford. Declan Rice's goal after 19 minutes. And then Joanna Wissa's equaliser 5 minutes into stoppages at the end of the first half. There have been no changes in personnel over the break. Brentford, who were forced into a substitution in the first half, and Matthias Jensen came on in place of the injured Christian Norgard. Arsenal will play from right to left in this second half, defending the clock end. Trossard has possession on the left-hand side, plays a little 1-2 with Declan Rice on the Eckert as well to nip in and win possession. Then he's swarmed upon by red shirts. Brentford hold on to it. Roerslev in the right wing back position. Where does he go here? Retreating back towards his corner flag. Trossard hacking away at him, and Roerslev with little choice than to just put it out for a throw. Throw into Arsenal, attacking position down the left hand side. They take it quickly. Jorginho into Declan Rice, sends it across, which Odegaard hits with his right foot, but he was off balance and he puts it over the crossbar. Bright start to the second period for Arsenal.
Great start, that's exactly what they wanted. Positive passing with tempo, urgency, great set. Saka, Odegaard coming forward, tries to strike on the half volley. Unfortunately on that right foot he doesn't catch it well enough as he just glides over the crossbar. Flecking just steps forward, the goal kick, just waiting, delaying. They are going to get worse at that, I'm sure.
Arsenal 1, Brentford 1. William Saliba wins a header, backpedaling. Ayer has to nod it back towards the halfway line. Jensen with a flick on. Flag goes up. Brentford with an offside position. Referee says play on because Arsenal still have the ball. Saka attacking the edge of the penalty area. Down the right hand side for Arsenal. Gives it back to Ben White. Odegaard with a little Cruyff turn inside the penalty area. Back out of the box to Saka again on the right hand side. He then nudges it in to Odegaard. It's all very intricate, very short, quick passes from Arsenal here. They still have it on the edge of the penalty area, but it appears that Brighton have survived the initial threat of this Arsenal attack. Many Arsenal fans still making their way back from the half-time hospitality. 2 minutes played in the second half already. This is Saliba, right-hand side for Arsenal. Gives it to Ben White, level with the edge of the penalty area. Back to Saliba again, out to Saka. They're trying to work the room here to deliver a dangerous cross. Here it comes from Saka. Roerslev, strong header on the edge of the 6-yard box. Kivior picks it up for Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta's team come again. This is Trossard on the left-hand side. Pulls it back towards Gabriel, and we're about to join listeners who've been tuned to the rugby on 5 Live here on Sports Extra at the Emirates Stadium, where Arsenal fans are full of celebration. Saka attacks down the right-hand side. In on to his left boot. Now Martin Odegaard pushes it on to Trossard. Edge of the box. Saka shoots, but it's too high. And it sails over the crossbar. And it goes out for a goal kick. Yes, Arsenal won, Brentford won. Arsenal, who took the lead after 19 minutes through Declan Rice and were absolutely cruising. Mikel Arteta's team dominated the first period. However, right at the very end of it, Aaron Ramsdale, the goalkeeper, playing today because David Raya is ineligible against his parent club, dropped an enormous clanger. He hesitated with a clearance. Johan Wissa was able to charge in and score. That was in the 5th minute of stoppage time, and it deflated the Arsenal tyres as the team went in at the break at 1-1. And on this day when Arsenal know they can go top of the Premier League if they win, on this day in which they know that both Liverpool and Manchester City can't both win because they play each other tomorrow, this now, Michael Brown, is a huge second half of the Emirates.
Yeah, massive second half. They were very, very dominant in the first half. They started well in this second half, but that mistake was the blip. They've got to go and score a second, but Brentford just keep coming. Here come
Brentford. Tony touches it down for Wissa, who's been allowed to turn. Then he steadied himself to shoot, and Gabriel was able to lean in and deflect it out for a corner. Corner to Brentford on the left-hand side, which is the end of the Emirates, where the away fans are housed here. Brentford didn't attack much in the first half. Ramsdale didn't have much to do, but he'll have been haunted by that mistake. He's back in the spotlight. This will be his 6th appearance for Mikel Arteta since David Raya's arrival. 3 of the appearances have now been against Brentford, and he's made a high-profile error here, which could be costly for Arsenal if they fail to get back into the game. Brentford have really overloaded the attack for the corner. They've 7 or 8 players inside the 6-yard box, crowding in on top of Ramsdale, the goalkeeper. Delivery's going to come from the far side. Arsenal have had to bring everyone back. It's really congested in there. Ramsdale punches it in front of Gabriel, but they got in each other's way, and then when Janel tried to follow up, he couldn't keep it down, and it spins out for a goal kick to Arsenal. 1-1 at the Emirates on 5 Live and Sports Extra.
Yeah, Ramsdale does well. Good punch. As it just drops down, Janel tries to get that left foot around it. He slices it into the far corner, but there's a bit more pressure on Ramsdale, but he coped. He took the gamble, he come forward, but a big mistake. He will recover, I'm sure. But it's how does the Arsenal team react, and I'll give them credit. They've been excellent in the first half, the whole team, and the way they've gone about it.
Here comes Arsenal. Saka to within 10 yards of the penalty area, gives it to his left-hand side to Kivior. Now Leandro Trossard just outside the box, being held up by Onyeka, who's carrying a yellow card. Saka to the byline on the left, tries to send him across, which is blocked out by Vitaly Janelt for a corner to Arsenal on the left, still all square in North London.
Yeah, wonderful run from that right-hand side right across. Saka just receives it as it's just falling away towards that byline, tries to dink it. Good recovery runs from Brentford. Declan Rice has been dangerous with his set pieces so far.
Declan Rice stands and ready to take the corner kick, but there's such jostling for position in the 6-yard box that referee Rob Edwards makes him wait. England with a late drop goal win to beat Ireland 23-22 at Twickenham. Marcus Smith winning the game right at the very end. More reaction to that to come on 5 Live. As Rice's delivery towards the front post, towards Kivior, comes back out to Declan Rice, who's strong in the challenge against Wissa, and now he lays it off to Martin Odegaard. Shooting position, sends in a cross though, and it goes out for a goal kick. No last touch off the defender. Gabriel managed to force it off the defender Jorgensen there, and it's a corner to Arsenal on the right-hand side.
Yeah, really well worked. They go short. Odegaard, fantastic so far in this game. Just drifts across right into the far post. Gabriel just keeps it alive, managed to ricochet, jumps up, gets the crowd behind him.
Yeah, the crowd are back behind Arsenal. The noise is back, having been deflated with that late equaliser in stoppages ahead of the break. The second latest first half goal Arsenal have ever conceded in a Premier League match. As Saka plays in the corner, whistle had blown, too much pushing in there, and the referee had blown his whistle, and Saka's going to get the chance to take it again, but not until after Rob Jones has a word with one or two of the players in there. Latest goal that Arsenal have ever conceded in the first half of the game was a Ruben Neves goal for Wolves, 49 minutes and 11 seconds. And this goal from Johan Wissa today was about 20 seconds earlier than that, but a very, very late goal that is threatening to destabilise Arsenal's day, and who knows, even their title charge if they don't recover. Saka take 2 from the corner flag, right-hand side, as Arsenal come forward, far side of the pitch from us. Sends it in swinging, headed by Rorslev at the front post, comes down to Odegaard, who tries to hit it, difficult technique, down into the ground, couldn't get any propulsion on it. Saka gets it again to Saliba. Saliba sells a dummy, that was clever. Now he hooks it across, it deflects into the side netting off Janelt. It's another quarter to Arsenal, and they've got their second win, and Mikel Arteta's team are back in top in this match.
Yeah, they are, they're keeping it alive. Brentford can't clear the line, set pieces, deliveries are good. Great little bit of skill from the defenders, he just goes to dink it right around that back post, and set piece set up, usual, just ringing the edge of the area, everyone back in that 6-yard area for Brentford.
Highlights to come tonight on Match of the Day, 10:30 on BBC One. Here comes Saka's latest corner kick delivery, great trajectory on this one. Gabriel tried to get up at the front post, he's been in the goals lately, but there's been a foul on Christopher Ayer, and that is going to be a free kick to Brentford inside their own 6-yard box. Boos from Arsenal fans around the Emirates, but a relief for their defence of the Brentford team. There's a goal in the Women's FA Cup, Brighton against Manchester United. Hamish Marshall.
It's Brighton 0, Manchester United 4. United have scored the best goal of the game, a strike from outside the box from Lisa Nalsund. Sophie Bagley in the Brighton goal, who's made 2 excellent saves in the second half, could do nothing about it. United cruising to the semis. Brighton 0, Manchester United 4.
Thanks very much. Here at the Emirates, 1-1 between Arsenal and Brentford, on a day that Mikel Arteta knows his team can go top of the Premier League tonight if they win, but only if they win. And the longer this game stays level, that jeopardy is going to increase, and the tension and the nerves are going to build as Trossard wins a good flick on header, looking for Kai Havertz. Cleared away by Ayer, and then a shot by Tony from a million miles. goes out and he nearly beats Ramsdale. What a shot from Ivan Toney. Ramsdale just got his glove to it, backpedaling, and the Arsenal defenders run in to congratulate Ramsdale. They know that he needs a boost for his confidence after that mistake. That was a brilliant effort though from Ivan Toney. What a goal that would have been.
This is an unbelievable strike from miles out on the left-hand side. He has no right to even go for it. Slices it left foot. It looks like Ramsdale's done. He backs pedals and just puts that right arm out and deflects it wide. Top save.
That will do Ramsdale's confidence the world of good. If you missed our coverage earlier, it was a Ramsdale mistake that gifted Brentford's goal to them here. 1-1, the corner, in swing and claimed by Ramsdale, and he's back on top now. He's been nudged into by one of the Brentford players, the big defender Collins. No free kick though. Referee says play on as Ramsdale got back to his feet. It's a lively game now at the Emirates. That was a scare. The brazen attempt by Toney to score has really riled the Arsenal fans. Here's Saka down the other end, into the penalty area, through the legs of the goalkeeper, but across the face of goal, and it's still active for Kivior. He's crossed from the left, too close to Flecken, who makes the save. 56 minutes played, Arsenal 1, Brentford 1 for now.
Brilliant, what a second half we've got now. It's opening up. Saka, fantastic as he goes towards that byline. He leaves defenders and just pushes it across, nobody there to direct it. We're just going back to that effort for Ivan Toney. He is miles out. It looks like it's just going to drift in. Would be right up there, one of the best goals of the season, I'm sure, but he recovers well, Ramsdale, under that pressure, and that's what he needed to do. That with the confidence, but Brentford are coming.
Well, this game will be watched and listened to with intrigue on the blue side of Manchester and the red side of Liverpool. Are Arsenal going to drop points here? Trossard to the edge of the area. Back to Declan Rice, who gave Arsenal the lead in the first half. Kivior has come to join the attack on the left-hand side. He'll give it infield to Gabriel. Brentford playing so deep, and that's allowing Arsenal to get right up. And even the deepest lying Arsenal player is within 15 yards of the Brentford penalty area. Gabriel gives it short to Jorginho. Now on to Declan Rice again. Rice into the penalty area. Havertz to Kivior. Low ball in to flex out for a corner. That could so easily have been an own goal. Nathan Collins got away with one there.
Yeah, he did get away with one. He tried to clear it, so it was off his shin. Brilliant little overload. Declan Rice into Havertz. Kivior just coming forward, fizzes it across the face, off the shin, just wide. Collins, tries to clear it the instep. Very lucky.
I was in Prague on Thursday for 5 Live, and Liverpool's Conor Bradley scored an own goal in a position just like that, slamming it in beyond his own goalkeeper. Brentford get away with that one. 1-1. Declan Rice's corner towards the back post. Flecken jumps, touches it away, and out it trickles for another corner.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a collision. They're asking for more. Declan Rice, good deliveries. Flecken gets it, but there's uncertainty. These deliveries are good. Both teams are putting it in areas of danger, testing defences out, and it's all about the quality. Referee Rob Jones is just trying to settle it down, trying to stop all that pushing and pulling.
Arsenal have not just won games recently, they have dominated opponents. They have put up some huge score lines. This is the first big test, it would feel, that Mikel Arteta has faced in some time, in the Premier League at least. Saka ready to take the corner on the far side. Here he comes, plays it in, another in-swinger. Gabriel's headed down, saved on the line. Gabriel did well to rise and power it downwards, and then I think it even deflects off someone else before reaching the arms of the goalkeeper, but Mark Flecken holds it like a baby and just cuddles the ball on the ground, so relieved that it popped into his chest.
Yeah, Janelt just behind Flecken towards that line. Gabriel rises so well, sort of the left leg just keeps it out and just falls into the goalkeeper's arms.
Here come Arsenal once more. It's electric at the moment at the Emirates. Odegaard to the byline and touched by the goalkeeper out for another Arsenal corner, and Odegaard sprints to provide the ball to Saka. There's a long way to go here, but the way Arsenal are playing, it's like there's no time to waste. 1-1. Arsenal who beat Sheffield United 6-0 in their last game. 4-1 against Newcastle before that. 5-0 against Burnley. 6-0 against West Ham. But they're struggling here. Saka plays it in. Goalkeeper stayed on his line. Rice shoots low into the shins of a defender, and Brentford relieved to get the ball away.
Yeah, Declan Rice just comes across. You're thinking he's just going to strike. Ramsdale under pressure. He goes long. It's no mistakes on this occasion. There's a foul in the area.
Kivior in the penalty area goes down. Ivan Toney was the defender near him. On-field decision is play on, no penalty. As players of both teams swarm around the referee. VAR will look at it in the background. Paul Tierney is the video assistant referee. He's assisted by Steve Meredith looking on from Stockley Park. On-field decision, no penalty, but this delay in play will allow those officials to peruse the replays and see if there's any case. I think even if there is a foul there, the contact begins outside the penalty area, and therefore VAR wouldn't be allowed to get involved anyway.
Yeah, it's not much in that. There is a run into an advanced position just outside the penalty area. I would say nothing there, but on the second one, Onyeki buys the foul. That'll be the one really that's the most frustration. So no penalty. VAR as well today. Teeny under a little bit of pressure as well. It won't really many decisions this weekend, I'm sure.
An hour played in North London, 1-1. Liverpool host Manchester City tomorrow at 3:45 kickoff. You can listen to the game in full here on 5 Live. And will the prize on offer to Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola be even greater? If Arsenal were to drop points here, it's a chance for one of those two to build an even bigger lead at the top of the Premier League. But that is only if Arsenal don't grab a winner here. And they've over a half an hour left to try and do it. Yenelt has the ball for Brentford. Left-footed delivery is good. Saliba gets up. Edge of the 6-yard box and clears it away. Good control by Havertz. Now, can they spring a counter-attack, Arsenal? Kivior up to Declan Rice over the halfway line. Yenelt got back well to challenge him. And Brentford regained possession. And Brentford, after a very slow start themselves, you can see the visitors realise the jeopardy for their opponents here, and they're making life as uncomfortable for Arsenal as they can. Here come Mikel Arteta's team again. Jorginho midway into the Brentford half. Arsenal playing from right to left, slips a good ball through to Saka in the penalty area. No room for the shot. Back to Martin Odegaard, goes for the top corner, punched away by the goalkeeper. Trossard this time goes down in the penalty area. More appeals for a spot kick. On-field decision is play on. Arsenal continue. VAR looking in the background. Jorginho chips it into the box. Too far in front to Trossard. The ball goes out for a goal kick, and now that the ball goes dead, the complaints echoing in the ear of referee Rob Jones once again. He emphatically points for a goal kick.
Yeah, there is an arm round the shoulder. They will have a look at it, whether there's enough sort of contact, whether there's enough of a pull. Rosalev just on that right hand side as the goalkeeper comes to punch, but we'll soon see.
The screens go purple. The cheer from Arsenal fans, who are suddenly big supporters of the whole innovation of VAR right now, and they think, could it be? No, the flag says no. No foul by Rosalev. I think it's one of those grey areas, Michael. If he holds on for any length of time, but his arm is around the neck and then he lets go, and the letting go, I think, is key in the officials' decision making. What do you think?
He lets go, but could he have stayed up? I think that's the point. Is it right in front of the goalkeeper? It's natural, that bit of contact. Goalkeeper's coming to head it. Make sure you go down, give them something to think about, but I don't think they were going to get that one wrong in Stockley Park.
Arsenal 1, Brentford 1. Supporters of Liverpool and Manchester City will be glued to this. Arsenal, who've had an impeccable record in the Premier League since the start of the calendar year. They're looking for... they're being held here as the cross from Toney is too close to Ramsdale, and Ramsdale gathers it immediately, bowls it out low to Jorginho. Brentford, who are brave there, they committed bodies forward. The problem with that is it leaves gaps at the other end, which Saka is looking to exploit, bearing down on the penalty area. Saka shoots, blocked by Matthias Jensen. Saka's able to sprint out and recover the loose ball, gives a pass to Jorginho more centrally. Jorginho back out to the right-hand side to Ben White. Arsenal have been a flame. Really, Brentford's defenders will be dizzy. This is Jorginho just outside the box to Odegaard, who's been at the heart of everything. Now Ben White, level with the edge of the penalty area. Right-hand side as Arsenal come forward, gives it to Saka. Things slow, things get a bit more hushed around the Emirates. The intrigue continues to grow as Saka gets it once again. Still out on the right-hand side. Back to Odegaard, they're overloading with White. Oh, he's unlucky there. He tried to roll it through to Kai Havertz, and it's cleared away. Oh, but it didn't go out for a throw. Saka was able to keep it in play. Arsenal come again. Jorginho into the feet of Ben White. Back out to Saka, dancing over the ball, trying to shrug off Matthias Jensen. Finds a bit of room for Saliba here. 7 or 8 yards outside the penalty area. Still all on the right-hand side of the field as Arsenal come forward. Odegaard picks a pass to Havertz. He goes down looking for a penalty, and he went down in installments. And Brentford are furious here, and they think the German, who's already on a yellow card, they think he should be sent off for that, as the ball eventually goes out of play. And these complaints are going to be solid, because Havertz is on a yellow and he has blatantly dived in the penalty area there.
Well, he's asking, for help, VAR, saying, what have you got? And at that, what a big decision he's got to make. Havertz goes into the area. Does he touch it? No contact. It is a dive. He's dived. He's in big trouble. Why does he not make that decision now? Can they interfere with that?
Referee Rob Jones, he's waiting for the VAR assessment. And of course the trouble is, yes, the VAR, because this is where there's flaws in the system, because VAR can't get involved unless they think it's straight red. They can't. So for a second yellow, even if the video assistant referee Paul Tierney says that's definitely a dive, it should be a yellow, he's not allowed to convey that information to the referee, and that is one of the loopholes of the system. Wow, Kai Havertz is a lucky boy. 1-1 at the Emirates in North London. Arsenal lucky to still have 11 on the field. Havertz, who was booked for a foul in the first half. It was the foul that actually led to Norgard having to leave the field. This is Trossard, wide on the left-hand side for Arsenal. 12 yards outside the penalty area. Plays a cross-field ball, well flicked on by Ben White to Martin. Gabriel gets involved now. Kivior on the left-hand side. Into Trossard, an attempt on target, but tame. No power on it. And even though Flecken was slow to react, he was able to get down and to make the save. Arsenal 1, Brentford 1. 66 minutes on the clock. This is high jeopardy now.
It's got absolutely everything happening. You see Flecken now kicks the ball out. They want treatment, but Mikel Arteta asking for a bit of help. It's all going off. The Brentford bench also asking questions. There's delays, there's drama, all staying down, there's frustration all around. There could have been a red card as well. What's going on in this game?
It's all happening here. When they kicked the ball out, Mikel Arteta played ball boy, and he wanted to quickly get the ball back so Arsenal could take the throw, but the referee had already brought play to a halt. Havertz again involved, cannoning into Matthias Jorgensen, and given that he's one yellow, he should have had another yellow. Havertz would probably do well to stay in his lane and keep his head down for a little bit now. Midway through the second half, still 1-1.
I'm going to go back to that talking point. I watched the referee's approach, and when he ran to the angle, he thinks that's a dive, because he would have straight away, he'd put up and he'd go penalty. He thought it was a dive, and something in him made that delay.
Wow.
Did you see his approach? It's something drastically wrong about that, Connor.
The replays confirmed it, but in the time, and we're a long way away, but in real time, we both felt he went down, he dived.
He went to give it. He stepped, he approached, went to it, then something made him stop.
Wow. And given the location of the pitch, Nick Hopton, the assistant, was very close to that. That was his area of the pitch, and he'd have had a good view of it as well. High controversy, particularly if Arsenal to go and win this. Brentford will feel hard done by. Anyway, the play is back underway. 68 minutes on the clock. Declan Rice, who set Arsenal on the way with a goal in the first half, comes on the attack, gives it to Leandro Trossard. Back to Kivior. Too much elevation on the delivery. Sails over the head of Saka, who turns and sprints out by the corner flag to try and keep it in play. Keane Lewis-Potter goes with him and touches it out for an Arsenal throw. Near the corner flag, they attack down the right-hand side. Arsenal, who know if they win this game, they go top of the Premier League, but at the moment they're not winning it. Ball in low towards Declan Rice, who can't control. It bounced off his shin pad. Ivan Toney tries to come away, and then Rice commits a foul. In fact, there was 2 fouls in quick succession there. The referee was waiting to see if there would be any advantage from the first, and there wasn't. So it comes back for a Brentford free kick on the edge of their own penalty area, and Arsenal are going to make a change here. Gabriel Jesus is about to come on, and he will take the place of Jorginho. I wondered if they'd hooked Havertz, given how close he's been to a red card. But it's a very attacking change. They take off a midfielder to bring on a striker. Havertz will drop into the middle 3.
Yeah, Havertz just drops down one. Gabriel Jesus leads the line, but can't get away from these decisions. Referee being put under a lot of pressure. Paul Tini last weekend, he's not been able to get a game. He's the VAR, he's having a look at it. He got blamed for everything last week. It's the team, the officials. Who was helping him out and who was helping Rob Jones? It's poor again from the officials. It's not just the one in the middle, it's the whole team of them getting decisions wrong that affecting title races.
Throw into Brentford, 1-1. This will be a major talking point if Arsenal drop points and fail to go to the top of the table. 10 Premier League matches to go this season after this one. The title race reaching its climax. Closest title race we've had in a decade. Janelt for Brentford gives it back to Collins, floats into the penalty area. Here's a chance, and a touch of the header over the top by Ramsdale to deny Nathan Collins. That's a good save. He made a mistake earlier on for the Brentford goal, but that was a good save from Aaron Ramsdale, who's had to make a couple of them now.
Yeah, it was a brilliant save. Seeing Collins ghost in, just tries to loft it over the top of Ramsdale. I think he's got to direct it further into the far corner. Recovers, steps back, tips it over the bar. Brentford are getting chances. They're growing in stature, growing in belief, and now another set piece to deal with.
5 Live from the BBC and BBC Sounds. This Saturday tea time in North London. Arsenal 1, Brentford 1 in the Premier League. Liverpool hosting Manchester City tomorrow at 3:45 kickoff. You can listen to on 5 Live. The Brentford corner comes in from Jensen. Lewis Potter will control over on the far side. He takes on William Saliba. Saliba slips. Lewis Potter unable to get past him though, and the ball trickles out of play. Last touch of Saliba, and that will be a throw into Brentford, and they remain in the attack for now, but there is wide open space for Arsenal to counter-attack into if they can win the ball back here. 1-1 for now.
Yeah, it's brave from Brentford. They're going to line up that long throw, but they're really high. You think they'd have someone back stopping that counter, but William Saliba there, 1v1. He looks so comfortable, doesn't he?
This is quite gung-ho from Brentford. The boos and cheers because it's taking so long for the throw-in. Jensen comes, long run-up, powers it in. Collins tries to get the flick on. Rice beats him in the air. It comes down to Ayer. He'll float it in. Tony can't get off the ground, and Ramsdale makes the save, and then he's rugby tackled by Wissa. There's no need for that from Yohan Wissa, and he gets a yellow card. Brentford's goal scorer, who charged down Ramsdale to score in stoppage time ahead of the break, has wrapped his arm around the goalkeeper there and given away a completely unnecessary free kick and picks up a completely unnecessary yellow card.
Wow, referee, he's got so much to deal with. I understand why Yohan Wissa just delays Ramsdale. He's stepping forward, trying to set off the counter. Front four now, pushing right forward. Brentford saying we'll go man for man. Fascinating now as Arsenal go for it. They've just got to be careful that they don't lose the game. You expect him to create lots of chances, but what a game we've got.
Yohan Wissa, who's now scored in 3 Premier League games in a row. It's the first time he's done that in his career. Scored against West Ham, scored against Chelsea. Here today he scored against Arsenal as Odegaard puts it in front of Gabriel Jesus. Involved for the first time. Ayer comes out, slides in on the Brazilian, holds him up, but Gabriel Jesus does get the ball. Now he wants a corner, and he'll get that too. Ayer 3 times there had to stop Gabriel Jesus. Corner to Arsenal. Saka already in position to take it. Time beginning to run out now. Just over quarter of an hour of normal time to play.
Yeah, you're getting in positions. He's creating, putting crosses in 1v1. You've got to be careful. Gabriel Jesus is wonderful at that.
Arsenal's winner against Brentford in November came in the 89th minute for Kai Havertz. Could there be late drama again? In-swinger from Saka. Repelled to the edge of the box to Martin Odegaard. He tees up Declan Rice, who hits the crossbar. The very corner of post and crossbar rattles at the Emirates. Declan Rice, who for the first time in his career has scored in 2 Premier League games in a row, and he nearly made it 3 goals in 2 games there. What a shot. It bent like Roberto Carlos towards that top corner, and it cannons off the very angle of bar and post.
He's only through the Roberto Carlos, but it was the instep. We see him do it with the outside of his foot, curls right around into that top corner, and it's literally hit right on the post and bar where it meets. That would have been